Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Sound Test Room. Okay, so we're gonna have a look at Gadget by Korg, which is new and generating an incredible amount of interest within its first 3 or 4 days of release. So it's pretty cool. It's a closed environment at the moment. It's a closed environment workstation, if you like, for producing music. Um, it is going to be getting audio bus compatibility, I think, and probably more and more stuff added to it as well. There are a few problems at the moment with exporting and stuff like that, but I guess that they wanted to get this out for now. But it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's really good. People are comparing it to Caustic 3. Caustic 3 gives you a lot more control. So if you wanted a lot more control over your music, if you like, go with Caustic 3 or get both. This is quite expensive as well, and it's at an introductory price as this video goes out. But it's still, I love Korg. I love Korg. I have stacks of Korg hardware and all their iOS stuff, and lots of stuff on their VST and things like that, and they're fantastic. The sounds are incredible. But there's a couple of things we need to do to set this up properly, so which you'll get better stuff. So before you open it, go to settings, go into airplane mode, which is always a good idea if you're recording anything. It frees up a bit of CPU, you know. But if we scroll down here, where all our bits and pieces are, and we find Gadget, this is where we can set up different things. Now, the audio latency, if you've got an iPad 4 or an Air, or anything that runs, faster, have the latency set on the standard, safer, and faster. I've got this set on faster. Background audio, you might as well have that turned off at the moment. There's a metronome counting as well. Okay, so I've got it set. You can have it 1, 2. I've got it set to 2 bars because it's easier for me, being old. Enable analytics. This will just send data off to Korg. It's anonymous and it helps them to improve the app, so leave that on. Disable auto lock I've just left that off. And knob gesture is linear, so you could have it rotary or linear. It doesn't really matter. That's a personal preference, obviously. So once you've done that, you're good to go. Now also, you want to make sure that all your background apps are closed that you don't need. Okay, so that'll just make things a little bit smoother. So we go in. So we basically start like this. We hit this plus button here. Okay, and we have all these different instruments and drum machines we can choose from, which is great. And I'm sure more and more will be added as IAPs in the future. So let's get on. Let's just pick this London, which is this drum machine here. Now, if we see now, we can plus this. We hit this plus, and this adds a scene, if you like, and you can see that we've got one drum machine, and so we've got one track for that drum machine. A scene is like, if we had another scene, for instance, we had another scene, but the scenes don't play linear. They don't play together like looking at a DAW. They play separately. So there's your first scene, which will play for a set amount of time, and there's your second scene. And down here we have a function button. If we hit function, we can choose to delete. So let's just delete that scene and have a look at the functions we've got on scene 1. So we've got first little box here. We can see it's 4/4 and it'll run for 1 bar, 4/4 times 1. So we can change our time signature to more or less different things we want, and we can get it to repeat. So I'm going to get this to repeat for 4 bars, and I'm going to leave it at 4/4. Okay. Now, if we press duplicate, it will duplicate all the information within this bar. If we press insert, it will insert a brand new bar. This becomes more logical later on. And then there is mute, length, clear, and copy per instrument, if you like. And then down here we have freeze, which once you set up a track with all its bits and pieces, you can automate absolutely everything in this, everything, pretty much. So once you've frozen that, all your automation will still be there as kind of like a track, if you like, but it will free up CPU. And then you can change different things. You can duplicate this, you can delete it, you can change. I think it may be, let's just have a look at that. Yeah, you can change the instrument. Okay, so we don't want to do that. And then on our master channel here, we have a master limiter and a reverb. Reverb is the only global effect that you can apply, and a limiter, obviously. Okay, but that's pretty cool. Some of the instruments and things have their own effects and stuff, so we'll get to that in a sec. Okay, so we have our metronome here and our tempo. So we hit tempo, we can choose our global tempo. We can't change the tempo for each scene like we can change the length. But we can add swing, we can tap out our tempo, but at the moment it's set on 128. So let's set it on, let's see, 120. I'm not too keen on this. I don't like the way it changes tempo. See, it's fiddly. Let's leave it set on 120. Oh, lucky, I wanted 120. So anyway, there you go. And then we have our metronome. Okay, so first of all, let's just hit that there. And this brings up our drum machine. Okay, so down here, now it doesn't come with preset patterns. You're going to have to program your own patterns as well. Okay, so hey, there's no problem there. Down here, it gives you the list of drums, so you can program like as per normal. You can put in drums wherever you like, and it comes with an absolute stack of kits already included. Okay, so all these different kits. You do get an astounding amount of brilliant quality Korg sounds with this. It looks great. So anyway. So we're going to just leave it set on that at the moment, and we're going to turn metronome on. Now remember, I set this up as a 2-bar counting. We can change our gadget here, but we don't need to worry about that. Now this little button down here says quantize. Now I want to quantize this beat. Okay, so I'm going to switch quantize on, and then I'm going to hit record. And now this will give me a 2-bar counting, and we can see our bars across here. There's 1 bar. I think I set, so let me just check. Function, length. It's set at 1 bar because I've set up a new one. So we're going to set this for 4 bars. Okay. Oh, by the way, it gives you different options as well. Grid. So at the moment I'm on 1/16th grid. So if I was going off, if I wanted to play more like sort of triplets and stuff like that, I could set it higher. So you have the basic grid settings there as well. Okay, so let's hit function again. Go back to our instrument. So we're just going to record some basic stuff here, okay? So metronome is switched on. Hit record, and once you hit play, there we go, and it's quantized for us. So now we can add other bits and pieces because we've got it set on loop. Turn metronome off. And we can turn record off. So what we can do now is we've got our little basic beat there. We can go back and see what's happening here. So you can see that it's over 4 bars and C1. So let's just add something else there. So we have a load of choice. So let's choose this. This is Marseille, and they're all named after places. I ain't sure why, but there you go, they are. So we hit Marseille, which is like a PCM synth, and it's super great quality. Now, when you first switch this on, it will have this little button down here, chord, will already be depressed. See how good quality the sounds are. And it has the classic M1 piano. Now, this chord button here, you can turn it off and just play. Now it's set as scale here, so we have this little scale button here. Now this is absolutely great. Hit scale, we can choose from any of the most well-known scales, and quite a few of the not quite so well-known ones as well. And we have our scale step at 7, and we have our octave range at 4. So, for instance, if I hit 4 there, you can see that the keyboard will change to 4 octaves. So you're not stuck with just a small keyboard, and you can do this with anything you like. than the scale step. So let's just go back to 2. I'm not going to use that for this. I'm going to show you something else as well. I have this MIDI'd up. Okay, so MIDI worked like this. Now, also, I want to point out at the moment that on the Audio Bus forum, within the 3 or 4 days, this has generated nearly 400 comments on a thread. There is some very, very, very useful information there. So seriously, if you want to know more about this app, go to the Audio Bus forum and just go to the Korg Gadget thread, and you'll learn absolutely stacks and stacks. Okay, so it's MIDI'd up. All right, it's MIDI'd up to a little Korg micro key, and there it is. So I'll have another couple of play. If we wanted to have the release a bit better on that, we could turn the release up there. So it'll give us a bit more. Now, I've got this is on quantize at the moment, so if I try and play this piano now melodically or fluidly, it's not gonna be so good. If you're gonna play like that, switch quantize off, okay, and then hit record. Actually, I'm just gonna go back here. Now, bearing in mind, see if we press function and press length on our piano track here. Okay, and it's already set on 4 bars because it's going to copy that one, but we can set our piano track now onto 8 bars. Now, 8 bars is the maximum you can have at the moment. It would have been really nice if you could have had maybe unlimited bars. Hey, but you know, you can't have everything. It's still a fabulous app. So let's hit function again. So now, our drums will still play over the 4 bars, but our piano will record over 8 bars, and you can move around the bars by just holding 2 fingers on and doing this. Now, okay, so let's start. Again, hit record, and we should get our 2-bar count in, and I'll just fiddle around and play something more melodic. And I'll stop that because I didn't turn the metronome on. So, stop. Metronome on. So you can see it's recorded all the nuances. Okay, so now I'm going to show you one more thing, because otherwise we could go on forever and ever with this basically. So let's add one more thing, okay? I'll show you some cool stuff you can do. So if we'll just, I mean, look at all these, they're fabulous, okay? So let's try the Phoenix polyphonic analog synthesizer. Now, I will say at this point, let me just set up a thing for that length to be on 8 bars already, because there was the previous one. That's cool. Now, I'll tell you what we'll do. We've just added our other thing. So let's just duplicate what we've got so far. Okay. So now we have the drums and drums. So we're on, and also I'll just go on to here now because I'm still on scene 1. So let's go to, okay, scene 2, and hit this. So now I'm on scene 2. Now, so I'm just going to change this gadget because it's not the one I wanted. Maybe it's this one, which is the one I just chose. Doug, you muppet. I mean, there are so many really cool synths here. We'll run through a couple of sounds and stuff. So, oh my God, there we go. So, not that one either. There's one with a modulation wheel on it that I really like, so I'm just trying to find that. Is it that one? No. You can see how good as well the graphics are fantastic. Was that it? Sorry. No. I think Phoenix is the one we tried earlier. No. There is one that's got a really great modulation. It's kind of like old school type thing. Anyway, it's giving you a chance to have a look at these what's it in it, graphics. It doesn't matter. Forget it. I'm going to go down to another one because I can't find it now offhand. This one is one of my favorites. The Chiang Mai, which is got some fabulous sounds. It's almost it's FM style type. And a lot of these synths as well, you also have your oscillator, your filter, and also another thing where you might have some effects and stuff put in. So anyway, so let's just have a quick play along with that so I can see what we're gonna do. Okay, that sounds nice. So again, this time we're gonna make sure that the metronome is on again, because I'm not sure if I don't think I'd get me counting if the metronome wasn't on. Oh, I don't need the metronome because I can start slightly later. Okay, so we can hit record, and don't forget now we're still over 8 bars, but we're on scene 2. Okay, so it's counting. Now that'll repeat, and we're still recording, so we can start altering things. See how you can automate pretty much everything, and for some reason I've erased all my track, so let's actually okay, so I don't know why that erased, but we'll try again, and I'll show you a couple more bits and pieces. That's it, that'll do. Let's leave metronome on, it's easier. Okay. I need to. It's possible that I've made some adjustments somewhere to the actual velocity of the MIDI. Anyways, the point being is there are a few glitches still present. That's not one I've come across though. That's probably something I've done. So I'm just going to try one more time to get something recorded. Right, so, okay, oh, it's back. Now I'm on scene 1. So, this is good. You can see some of the problems that you can encounter. Let's try this one more time. you can see the filter frequency has now been automated. There's the velocity, and we can just go back to the main MIDI view. Now, back. Now we finally got this far. So if I wanted to play, you can set the length. So this should all just play one time and then should drop into scene 2. Now, do you know why I didn't do it? Because I've got loop switched on. Duh. So it's still on there, so what's the... So now we hit function. Right, okay. See, I've got repeat here 4 times. Drop, it can get a bit confusing. Drop that down to 1. Hit function off again. There you go. So stop. Enough. We're already at 22 minutes. Anyway, guys, that's your basic sort of setup function thing. Work around the things. It just takes a bit of getting used to. Obviously, because it's new and it runs slightly differently. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this and found some bits and pieces useful. I haven't got time now to run through more of the sounds and stuff. You can add up to 15 of these, but there are some absolutely spectacular things, gadgets in here that sound just absolutely fantastic. The quality is great. It looks fantastic. It's relatively easy. You can see, though, I made a few mistakes there, but you can work around them. But you can see how easy it is to build up a great sounding track in very little time at all. All right, guys. Hope you like this. See you later.